Welcome in, guys. Bienvenue. I'm Miss K and this is Go Cuisine. Today we are making la Fénétra. This is a regional specialty of Toulouse, France. So I've made this before, but here's an example of one that we picked up in Toulouse the last time we went to visit. So let's get started on this. You will need, for the crust, 200 grams of flour, that's about 1 2/3 cup, and 100 grams of butter, that's almost the whole stick. This is cold, the butter, and you want to chop it up in little pieces. And while I'm doing this, this is a great time to subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm putting this in the bowl of my food processor, and as you can see here, it's almost the whole stick. Okay, to this we're going to add some granulated sugar. This is about 50 grams. And then we need a pinch of salt. And then we're going to blitz this. This is a pâte brisée, so you want to blitz this until it looks like sand. If your food processor is like mine, it's stuck on the side, so give it a tap and you can see it looks like sand. Next, we're going to add in 2 whole eggs. These are large eggs. They weigh about 50 grams each without the shell. And then we're going to, this is your only liquid, we're going to blitz this up. So it shouldn't take long. Don't overwork your dough or you'll get a tough crust. So you might be thinking to yourself, why are we making a crust? Because this is a tart. This is coming together nicely. It should look like this. You should be able to press it together. Now I'm going to take this and turn it out onto plastic film or plastic wrap, and I'm going to roll it out into a disc, and then we're going to put this in the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. You can see parts of mine are having trouble coming together, so I'm just going to fold it in on itself a few times, and that should help. And here I'm just pressing lightly and just kind of get it a round shape. It'll make it easier to roll it out later. Here you go. You can see it's pretty floppy. This is why we need to chill it for at least 30 minutes. So after we chill it, it's going to be hard like this. Well, it's not exactly hard, but it's firmer. So we're going to remove the plastic wrap, put a little bit of flour on your surface and on the top, as little as you can. You don't want to toughen up your tart dough here, and then we're going to roll this out to fit our pan. I'm using a 10-inch tart pan with a removable bottom. A 9-inch probably would have been better for this, but this is what I got, so that's what I'm using. So as you roll this, you want to give it a flip and a quarter turn each time, and that'll help you keep a rounder shape. Just keep going little by little and you'll get there. And you can see my edges are cracking a little bit. Remember, the only liquid we put in here were those eggs, so this is quite difficult dough to work with, but it's got a nice texture, so that's why we put up with this. So now that I've got it about the size of the bottom of my tart pan, I'm going to give it a couple of more turns here, and then I'm going to fit it into the tart tin. And those edges insist on cracking, but excuse me, tart dough, I'm the boss, not you. You will do what I say. So I'm just trimming here. In retrospect, I might have left this overhang there. It kind of shrunk a lot more than I thought it would. And it's been, like I said, it's been a while since I've made one of these. Probably the last time was last year for my husband's birthday. And guess what? I'm making it for his birthday this year too. So I'm just kind of cutting off the extra and pressing it in where it was kind of short. You're not going to see the difference on your final product, I promise. And then after you get this nice and situated, and if there's a tear, pinch it back together. We're going to dock this dough. So I'm going to poke it a lot of times with my favorite cooking fork. This is one of the fun parts. Dock that dough. Get all around it. We don't want this bubbling up in the oven. One of my sides kind of collapsed, so I'm just pressing this back with my fork. And I forgot to tell you to preheat your oven, but it needs to be at 350 Fahrenheit, 175 C. And I have some parchment paper here that, yes, is being reused after baking cookies, and a pie chain. If you don't have a pie chain, you can use dried beans. And we're only going to bake it for about 15 minutes till it looks like this. Ta-da! It's almost baked through, but not golden brown. Okay, you can see where it collapsed there. We're going to add our filling now. So, for the first thing, the topping, we need 4 egg whites. Again, these are large eggs, and you can separate these when they're cold. They separate better when they're cold, and I just use my hand. No fancy equipment needed. Okay, and as an extra insurance, we crack them into one bowl and then pour them into the bowl where we're going to beat them, because we're going to be making a meringue. You don't want any fat in this. And again, these are large eggs. And I forgot to pour my egg white into the big bowl, so that's losing my insurance. Let's try this again. Again, your hand is way faster than going shell to shell, but you do it how you need to do it. And I have a container to dump my egg yolks in here. Don't worry, they're not going to waste. And if I had thought about it, I would have used these egg yolks in my tart dough instead of the whole eggs. That would have made for richer tart dough. But hey, maybe next time we'll work on that. So save these. They're great in custards, in another cake. I would advise against using these. They're pasteurized and they're harder to whip up. You can use them if this is all you have, but you just won't get as stiff with cheeks. Okay, so we're going to whip up our 4 egg whites. You can do this by hand. You could whip out your stand mixer, but I find that the hand mixer does just fine. I also have about half a cup of sugar here, 100 grams, that we're going to whip into here, along with a little bit of insurance, aka cream of tartar. And you only need half a teaspoon of the cream of tartar. Oh, and one more thing before we get started with that. We do need some almond flour and some regular flour. And we're just going to whisk these together to make sure there's no lumps, because we're going to be folding this in to our meringue later, and we don't want any giant lumps of that. So just before we get started, because egg whites wait for no one, so let's just give that a good whisk. If you want, you could sift this if it's very lumpy. This seems okay. So actually, no, I'm gonna sift it, and I'm just gonna reuse my parchment paper from earlier. was in my Tart, which I also used to make cookies yesterday. So just get that quick. We'll make sure we don't have any big lumps. You can see that almond flour is a bit lumpy. The oils it makes it cling together. Okay, so we'll just leave that on there, and that's ready to fold in when we're done making our meringue. Alright, put this on the side, and we'll start whipping this. Okay, when it starts getting foamy, we'll add in part of the sugar little by little until it's incorporated. You want to start slow and then bring your speed up so you don't get egg whites in your face. Okay, we're getting there. Keep checking because you don't want to go over, because then you'll get grainy egg whites and you cannot save it. We're almost there. Okay, so it's starting to stand up on its own. Alright. Okay, this took me about 5 minutes. Oh, you can't see. We're getting the stiff peaks there, but you can see it's mounting up on its own. Okay. So, and demo stiff peaks. There you go. It's got a peak on the end. Alright, so this is about medium peaks. Now we're going to fold in our flowers. Just going to fold this in. Maybe get it in the bowl, not all over your work surface. Turn and fold. Turn and fold. Now that I have some of it incorporated, I'm going to add in the rest. There you go. Just fold it in. Around the bowl. Turn the bowl a quarter turn. There you go. Just keep going. Kind of like making macaron. So you don't see any dry parts. Like that. To finish this up, we're going to need some candied lemon peel. Get mine from nuts.com or King Arthur. And you need a jar of apricot jam, like a good one. You can get this brand, you can get Bon Maman, you can use homemade, that's even better. That's what I'm gonna use. But you need about 300 grams, so that's less than a regular size jar. Okay, don't use the cheap stuff here, because this is your filling. Okay, and you're just gonna pop it in. Hopefully you have big pieces of fruit in yours. When I make mine, I just use apricot halves. And no, I don't grow apricots. I get them from the store. When I was a kid, my aunt grew apricot. She had 4 trees. I miss those. But hey, we do with what we got here. Alright, so get that spread out, and then you're gonna put your candied lemon peel on here. If you can get a whole candied lemon and dice that up, that's even better, but I can't really get that where I am. Okay, just make sure you get all the way to the edges there, and then just sprinkle on some of this. Put as much as you want. This stuff is really sweet, so this is about 70 grams of it. It comes in a 1 pound bag, so just kind of eyeball it. And then just kind of smush that out. Alright, now that that's ready, we can either spoon this on or we can pipe it on. I'm going to pipe it on. I have a bag with a star tip. I think it will just make it prettier, so that's what I'm going to do. You want to make sure you have a clean bag that doesn't have any fat, because fat kills egg white. It will deflate with quickness. Just want to press it down. Okay, so we're going to kind of cheat. We're going to put the rest of this on the top and then pipe the crust. I think it will look okay. And then this is going to go back into the oven. See how fluffy that is? I should have just left it alone, but I can't. Work quickly, gently, don't push out all that air that we work to get in there. I'm gonna do rosettes. I'm just gonna like that up there. I did not have enough to do rosettes all the way around, but that's okay. This is a homemade dessert. It can look homemade. Alright, into the oven. Okay, this has been in the oven about 15 minutes. It's about halfway done. I'm going to dust it with a bit of powdered sugar on the top. You can do this before you put it in the oven as well. It just helps to give it a nicer top. Just a little bit. You don't need much. Be careful, this is hot. We just took it out of the oven. We're about to stick it back in. This is like a tablespoon of powdered sugar. Like I said, not much. And we're going to put that back in the oven, and then we'll take it out. It'll be done in about 15 more minutes. Here we go. All finished. So I'm just going to let this cool, and then I'll take it out of the pan. I probably got this a little browner than I would have liked it, but you know, it's got a nice crusty top. It'll still be good. I would have liked this a little less brown, but I can always just put some more powdered sugar on it. Cover it up now, can I? Not bad, not bad. We'll do better next time. I mean, we did better the first time, but I'll take this. Now, let's see what the inside looks like. There you go, a nice cross section. And it is tasty. It tastes like apricot, and the top is an almond meringue. Why don't you check out some more of my French desserts? Watch this video here. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Au revoir. Bon appétit.